In addition to adequate notice under the Open Public Meetings Act, electronic notice of this remote public meeting, as is permitted under NJSA 1049.3, and was placed on the City of Newark website. Members of the public can make public comments by audio or by audio and video as permitted by the Zoom electronic communication platform. Now, while in this Zoom meeting, press on raise hand on the bottom left corner of the computer screen or mobile device. Raise hands allow participants to notify the host that they would like to speak without interrupting them. If you are calling in, press star 9 on your telephone to raise your hand. The Central Planning Board will be mindful of the number of items on the agenda and will move as expeditiously as possible to complete the agenda. However, due to the amount of development requiring board review and the complexity of projects, it may not be possible to hear every item if the meeting runs later than 11 p.m. In the event that the agenda is not completed by 11 tonight, the board will finish hearing the applications that are in the process of listening to, but no new application will be called after that item is complete. Any applications that were not heard by that time will be rescheduled to the earliest available date, which will be announced on the record if possible. In addition to adequate notice. Okay. This meeting is now called to order. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Commissioner Jordan?
Ready to get out.
Yes.
However,
Yes.
Commissioner Baez?
Yes.
Commissioner Purdy?
Yes.
Commissioner Timmons?
Yes.
Commissioner Scott Roundtree? We have is absent. Commissioner De Silva?
yes.
Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Austin?
Yes.
Co-Chair Witcher?
Yes.
Chair Richardson?
Here.
We have a quorum, Chair.
All right, we have one item on the agenda tonight, CPB 24-87. Are the applicants available?
Yes, we have Mr. Souter joining us. See? Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think as you may recall, this is a continuation of Mulberry, the two towers that we proposed on Mulberry. We were at the time of we were in the cross-examination by an objector. So I believe this continuation was to give them an opportunity to finish their objections, as well as to hear any other objectors or community members speak. So from that standpoint, we had in our initial presentation rested, and they were in the midst of that. So I leave it to you, Mr. Chairman, if you so wish to open the meeting back up.
Yes, are the objectors present?
Yes.
Let's bring them in. Mr. Simon.
Mr. Chairman, good evening.
How are you, sir?
I'm well, yourself.
Good.
Good to be back here before the board. Rob Simon, on behalf of my clients who I've identified at the last hearing. When we last left, as Mr. Souter stated, I was in the middle of cross-examination. My notes reflect that I completed the cross-examination of the engineering witness, and I was about to start the cross-examination of the traffic engineer for the project when the board adjourned for that hearing. I'm certainly prepared to commence that cross-examination. I will state parenthetically, as the board recalls, there was some discussion throughout the application hearing about providing an opportunity for the parties, my clients, the applicants, to meet and discuss the application my understanding is that a meeting did take place. It is further my understanding that at the conclusion of that meeting, or maybe thereafter, that the parties had potentially discussed continuing that conversation, provided and adjourn, not proceeding tonight with the hearing, provided that the applicant would be able to secure a special meeting within the next 2 to 3 weeks, with the understanding that my clients would pay half or 50% of any fee associated with securing a special meeting, that my clients were certainly amenable to that. And I just wanted, just in the interest of full disclosure and raising that with the board and with the applicant's attorney who is present, at least that's my understanding as to where that conversation was. And we would certainly be amenable to such an adjournment and continuing those conversations, especially given the I'll call it awkward configuration of the properties within the subject block, and maybe doing something about that. Certainly, if the feeling is just to continue with the application, the cross-examination, I'm certainly prepared to do that, but I wanted to raise that with the board because that's the information, at least that was given to me.
Thank you, Mr. Simon. Mr. Sauer.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I don't disagree. However, it's my understanding that there's been conversations had with the board secretary, and we would not be able to get a special meeting within the time frame that the parties had discussed. So given that, we are prepared to move forward tonight.
I don't know if that's accurate, Madam Secretary.
So yes, in discussion with someone from your office, Mr. Souter, you have another application that was trying to get on a special, so if you guys are willing to not allow the other application on the May 12th special, we would be able to put Mulberry Point on that agenda.
Yeah, that's just a different client that has been waiting a long time to get that special meeting. They paid for that special meeting to put that project on. So I do not have the
Well,
authority.
I'm sorry to cut you off, William, the other project hasn't paid yet.
Okay. It's my understanding that if they haven't paid, I'm sure they would be paying imminently
Okay.
for that date. But I'm not in a position tonight to tell one of my clients that I'm going to give up their date for this application.
That being said, Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Beck.
it appears that that the parties have at least come to some sort of understanding. The time of decision rule, my understanding is 120 days, and I don't know what day you're looking towards, Mr. Souter, but if you felt it was worthwhile, rather than let the board go through this whole process where you may be negotiating something, I don't think the board needs to be part of that whole soliloquy, or it's not a soliloquy, it's more than a soliloquy.
we don't.
We want to work with you, but if it's a week or so, and if there's a date available on the 13th where maybe you can accomplish what it is that you guys need to accomplish without having the board go through whatever it is, and they're willing to do so. It's your money, it's your time. I'm just saying, I was unaware that there was discussions between the parties, that you were bridging the gap, that there might be a potential opportunity, but now there's not enough of time left, when in fact there might be time enough. That's oversimplifying it, and I'm just throwing that out there. It's not my
Yeah, I think that is for a project of this size. I think that is oversimplifying it. Mr. Beck, to be respectful, there were conversations between the parties previously. There were some lengthy conversations between the parties previously, and now we're here. We are committed to continuing to have conversations. As you know, a project like this won't go on the ground in the next 30 to 60 days. There will be a lot of time between getting the approvals, if this board were so to approve this project, and this project potentially going into the ground for the parties to all come together and have conversations. As you may recall, in the last hearing, it was noted that there were discussions between the parties beforehand. So the discussions, these are two large developers who do a lot of development here in the city of Newark. They will continue to talk to each other. I'm sure they all will work towards the best interest of the city. But my client does have an application that is pending and open, and we are asking this board to hear that and hopefully bring it to a conclusion tonight.
Mr. Chairman,
yeah.
it is the applicant's application. He's free to do whatever he chooses. I just thought I'd throw out a little bit of an olive branch, just kind of get a temperature of where we're at with whatever, but the night is his. Everybody's here that needs to be here, and hopefully this would be able to resolve itself within this special meeting.
Can I just, respectfully just add
Sure.
one thing to the comments so far? I just because I was not privy, not that I necessarily needed to be, to the conversations in terms of scheduling. I'm wondering whether, given the comments made so far and the representations, whether there is an opportunity to see if there is a special meeting date or dates, or do a combination of two dates, which I've done, many times in the past under these types of circumstances, as opposed to, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Beck.
Yeah, Mr. Simon, it's the applicant's application. I
respect that, of course.
And I can see where you're going, but if the applicant says definitively he wants to move forward, it's his prerogative. He can. And I don't want to waste any more time with the board, and I apologize for jumping in, but I just thought that perhaps we took a couple of minutes just to move things along a little bit, but it looks like the applicant wants to move forward.
Yeah, my only comments, Mr. Beck, were just in the context of what the applicant wanted to do, as represented to me, which was, hey, if we can get a special meeting within the next 2 or 3 weeks, then we would be amenable to adjourning. And I'm just inquiring whether that's possible. If it's not, it's up to the applicant. So.
Madam Secretary, are there any other available dates?
But before we get to that, and correct me, Mr. Souter, as the applicant's attorney, are you even suggesting you're amenable to adjourning this to a special meeting, or do you want to proceed this evening?
My client, after having discussed the dates with the secretary earlier today, we had come to the conclusion that in the next 2 weeks that the board would not be able to have a special meeting to hear this. If for some reason that has changed, right, or is there some information that I am unaware of, I am open to having that conversation with my client. But it's my understanding that we were given dates in June as available dates, and that simply was not acceptable or amenable to my client.
Understood. And Madam Secretary, so there's no other dates. 12th is it?
There is no other Mondays. No. If it in that time frame, no. We have meetings for the next 3 weeks on Mondays.
And I assume there's no alternative day where the board can meet in May.
Oh, go ahead.
That would depend on the availability of the board members. Well, let's just do a quick poll, straw poll. Could any of you meet on a different day in the next 3 weeks, other than a Monday?
I'm available any day. It doesn't matter to me, Chair.
That's one. Co-chair?
Thursdays probably, or Friday. Probably not Friday.
Yeah, not Friday. Thursday?
Chair, if I may, Preferably probably a Tuesday, being as though there's no other board that meets on that day. Wednesdays is Historic
that's
Commission,
Thursday,
Thursdays is zoning
Thursday is
board.
the zoning board.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tuesday may be able to work.
Anybody else? Can
I'm
Tuesday
available
work?
on Tuesday.
Okay. Commissioner Pert,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Likely.
okay. All right, so we can get Commissioner Timmons. Can you do it Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay, so we can do a quorum. Let's pick a date. Madam Secretary.
Yes, so there's factors that go into that as well, though, Chair, because I know he said he wants to, well, not he, Mr. Sauter wants a date within the next 2 to 3 weeks, but there's also timeframes for sending out notices, so I don't know how.
So what's the third week?
I think Ms. Juma has a question as well. Or a note to add.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Just piggybacking off what your Secretary Carissa just mentioned, I'm curious to know, this date that you're polling for, this special date, is the applicant paying for the special, being as though that this was a courtesy special?
Absolutely, it's gonna be paid for. This is not gonna happen.
And in full disclosure, we agreed that in consultation with the applicant that we would share the cost of that. I'm prepared to do so.
Understood. Thank
We
you.
would share the cost.
Yes, I think that was
Mr.
discussion.
Sauter, is that your understanding?
That is my understanding.
Okay, so yeah,
I would
Right.
just like to add that we would like that meeting to occur within the next 2 weeks.
Okay, so if you look at your calendar, Mr. Sauter, what are we looking at? Is it the 13th, the 20th? Is it?
I think we're looking at the 6th and the 13th.
So you're looking at the 6th. So that's not 2 weeks. That the
Right.
6th.
6 is not 2 weeks.
No, I said so the agreement between the parties was that we would do the meeting within the next 2 weeks.
Okay. So
If I may. So for notice purposes, the 6th is not an option.
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just
No, I just want us to know, like, it can't be the 6th
So-
just for notices, so it would have to be the
Is-
13th would be the
Is the
soonest.
13th acceptable?
I think everybody here, board members said they could do the 13th. Commissioner Austin?
I can do the
All
13th.
right, so
It's not available. I think the 13 or the 14, we can do that,
we
but I don't know if you're gonna be available.
we understand, we got you.
So
So,
just note, just for the
13th.
record, I apologize, Mr.
go
Chairman.
ahead, Mr.
A
Beck.
special, just to remind everybody, we have a special on the 12th and now we'll have a special on the 13th. So board members need to be cognizant that we will be available
Back to back.
those evenings.
Everybody good?
Thank you.
I'm good.
All right. So now, so they have to renotice, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Mr. Beck?
Yes,
Okay, so we'll look to see you back here on the 13th for a special. And yeah, like Mr. Beck said, don't forget, on the 12th, we have a special if they pay on time. It hasn't been paid for yet.
well, listen, if they don't pay,
No,
we're still all on board for the 12th. That's their problem.
Yeah,
You get me, Chairman?
understood.
Understood.
So we're gonna adjourn this until the special on the 13th. And remember, you have to renotice. And we'll see you guys back here on Tuesday, the 13th at 6 p.m. But I'll see all the board members on the 12th at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Thank you to the applicant.
Right.
All right, have a great night.
Bye-bye.
All right, so move.
the meeting isn't over.
That's right. It's not over. We got business.
Yes, and just to remind everybody, we have our regular meeting scheduled on the 5th.
Correct.
All right, so we have the 5th, the 12th, and the 13th.
It's gonna be a good June.
And I'm biting my tongue.
All right, minutes. Do we have minutes?
No minutes, they'll be at the next meeting.
Okay, Mr. Beck, the floor is yours.
We only have one resolution to be memorialized this evening. It's CPB 2462, which is 364-374 Broadway. All those commissioners that voted affirmatively are permitted to memorialize same.
All right, if there's no more business. Have a good evening, everyone. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys back here on Monday the 5th.
Have a good night.
Take
Have a good
care.
night.
Please.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.